Welcome back to another episode of the Be That Christian podcast. I'm your host, Alex Gibson, and with me is the surprisingly attractive Brian Rush.
Hey, buddy. Very surprisingly.
Very surprisingly. How's it going, Brian?
Good, buddy. How's your day been?
Been pretty good.
Good.
Did a lot of thrift shopping.
Nice.
It's always fun just going around looking at other people's junk and buying stuff you don't need.
It is. Something to do.
Yeah, I mean it is. I feel like that's what Saturdays are for.
Yeah.
It's just kind of doing the things that you didn't or weren't able to do during the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're always so busy. Work weeks.
And if you work a 5 hour work or 5 hour, I wish it was a 5 hour work week.
Me too, buddy.
5 day work week. It's you definitely find ways to make your Saturdays enjoyable.
You do appreciate them.
But so you said you had a good.
Oh yeah.
Good.
I've done absolutely nothing. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Perfect.
It is.
I couldn't ask for a better day.
It was great.
My wife asked me if I wanted to go out and do stuff today, probably wanted to chill at the house. I knew that she wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I was like,
we got
sacrifice. Hey, but I found Fast and Furious on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice. That's a good
So
one.
I'm trying to build my Blu-ray collection up because you can disagree with me all you want. I think where all these streaming services are getting higher price.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you think about a movie you want to watch and it's not on something you're already subscribed to, but it is on something you're not subscribed to.
Yeah.
So you're already paying probably $30-$40 a month.
Yeah.
Or if you have YouTube TV, even maybe $80-$90 a month.
Dude, it all adds up quick.
And you can't even find the thing you want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm trying to, because DVDs right now even Blu-rays are stupid cheap. Used to be Blu-rays, which were the more expensive ones.
Yeah.
They were anywhere between the lowest price you find in retail would be probably $10-$12. And then the newer movies probably be closer to 20.
Yeah.
I can find Blu-rays for anywhere between $1 and $4.
Oh wow.
Pretty much anything.
Yeah, that's
because
real cheap.
People just don't use DVDs anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna, and you own the movie forever.
Yeah, it's yours
as long as the DVD lasts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely becoming more invested in that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I found that. Other than that, I had Chick-fil-A. Got to go eat some of the Lord's chicken.
Yeah, yep.
It's a good day. They didn't have Chick-fil-A sauce. They had it posted on the door. It said, sorry, we're out of. And they had a couple things they were out of. And it said Chick-fil-A sauce. And I was like, oh, dude, you got to be kidding me.
It's like a gut punch.
It's half the reason I go to Chick-fil-A is for the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
But, it was still good. Polynesian's okay. But
not as good.
Not as good as that Chick-fil-A sauce, man. It hits quite differently.
Yeah.
But so this episode is actually episode 7. It's going to be on giving. That's why I'm making this title really simple, just giving.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of controversy behind the topic of giving.
Mm.
Not just among Christians, but among people that have opinions on Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk a little bit about it.
Cool.
In our big brain time. But the first thing, I wanted to do a little bit of a discussion on something that is probably Brian and myself our strongest connection besides Christianity that we have is video games.
Oh yeah.
And it's a fantastic thing, video games. If you're someone that doesn't enjoy video games, or you say that you have all this negative opinions about it, I feel bad for you.
Me too.
Because there's not many things entertainment wise that are
great escape.
Oh, for sure. Being even games that came out so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
there's very few points in my life where I'd rather watch something or do
Mhm.
something else than play video games.
Yeah.
Which obviously there's a balance to it. Like you
Yeah.
can't just be playing video games all the time.
No.
Can't leave your room. But kind of like you're saying, like the escape.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a big thing that Brian and I have together. And the first question I was going to ask, and this is not like talking about sales numbers. This isn't talking about like what some forum or some company would write
Mm-hmm.
in an article. This is just your opinion.
Okay.
What do you think is the best console of all time? Best video game console? Any console.
Childhood tells me the original NES. That was what I grew up with, but I probably have just as many memories on. Man, I don't know. I might have to go with PlayStation 2 because I really dove into that one. Like I played it a lot.
Yeah.
Early 2000s. Like probably PlayStation 2 in my opinion.
PlayStation 2, it came out like around 2002, didn't it?
Yeah.
Probably around there, like
2000.
around 2000.
Yep. Yeah, they pushed.
Oh yeah, they had the big fat one. I was
Yep,
thinking of the
the
slim
fatty.
one. The slim
Yep.
one probably came a couple years later.
Yeah, and then 06, I think PS3 rolled out, that one was insane. Blu-ray and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was priced at like $600. Everybody was freaking out because it was like $600. It was so expensive, but that hardware at that time was, very expensive.
So is your final answer PS2?
I think so, because I go back to my Guitar Hero times. like, man, I used to play Rock Band. We did all that fun stuff. And I found Gran Turismo, which is one of my favorites. So many memories on the PS2.
I remember getting to, I think it's the first Guitar Hero. The last song, like the closing song, is Freebird, isn't it? Is that the first or the second one?
I think on the first.
The third one's Fire and Flames.
Yeah.
Which is still to this day, I never passed it.
It's insane.
I just remember because it's like a 9-minute song or something.
Yeah,
like that.
dude, your fingers are like giving out.
But you're like, I gotta see this through.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about that when I was coming up with mine, but I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So your final answer is PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I think for me, this is hard because now you got me thinking about PlayStation
tough.
2.
I had to dig deep.
I think I'll say Xbox 360. Xbox 360 was so everyone always talks about the order of consoles they went through in life because you had like these competing companies.
Yeah.
And you don't really, you count Nintendo up until like maybe like the Wii era. Then after that, it's kind of
fell off.
Kind of just Microsoft and Sony at that point.
Yeah.
But I went from, I remember my first console was the Game Boy Advance. I wish I still had it, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my PlayStation 2, which was a phenomenal console, playing Guitar Hero, all that stuff. Wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto.
I wonder why.
I was only 7. I was old enough, right?
The game was so terrible.
So bad. And then after the PlayStation 2, you'd think the natural course would be go to PlayStation 3, but I went to Xbox 360 because I think it was because most of my friends had Xbox 360s. I'm not sure if they just had like better campaigning or what it was, but it feels like everyone had an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I did have some friends that did have PS3s, and a big difference was the online service, like the live service. PS3 was free.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pay anything. Xbox 360, it was like $60 a year.
Yeah.
So if you had a 360, you had to sweet talk your parents into giving you some of that.
Yeah.
Use that. You may get it for Christmas one year like I did.
Yep.
But then you have to keep up in the membership.
Yep.
But I went from PS2 to PS3, and then after that, or PS2 to Xbox 360, but then I went back to PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I did get an Xbox One when it came out,
Yeah.
and at the time, PlayStation 4 just had, or Sony had so many exclusives that I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And like the baseball games being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was like the MLB The Show was one of them.
The Show.
I really enjoyed those games, so I switched to PS4. I ended up liking it a lot better than Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So
the controller felt great.
Controller felt. I still use PS4 controllers sometimes.
Yeah, really nice.
They're great. And then after that, after the PS4 era, I kind of went into PC. I do have a PS5 now, but I use it mainly for HBO and Netflix. All the things that I've sworn to hate.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was kind of my natural progression.
Mm-hmm.
So you say PS2 is the best.
Yeah.
I would probably say 360. Okay. So
That's
next
fair.
question. Yeah, I mean, they're both great consoles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Both great consoles.
I loved them.
I might have even put the Wii up there. So I had the Guitar Heroes on the Wii. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And wireless controllers.
Oh, yeah.
Game changer.
It was.
The next question is probably, I think it's suitable. Is what do you think is the greatest video game? Not like I said, not numbers. Yours. What's yours?
Okay, my favorite. I gotta go with Gran Turismo, the racing like a simulator. It's for a console. It is by far the closest to a real life racing simulator. Like, of course, PC has iRacing, which is like a whole other level. But I always played Gran Turismo. Like, that was my favorite.
Is there like a specific one? Because they've been making games for a long time.
Yeah. Like probably going back to the PS2, like I mentioned earlier, because that system had Gran Turismo 3 and 4, and 4 was like probably one of the best. I still currently buy them, as they come out, but they've just been like they put out Gran Turismo 7 about 3 years ago for the PS5, and I was super excited about it, but dude, it was a letdown.
Really?
Like I don't know what it is. It ain't capturing the magic that it used to have. But
I think it's been like that for a lot of franchises.
I do too.
Like Call of Duty used to be some of my favorite games ever, and that I feel like the last almost 10 years, you may have like one or two good titles in there, but for the most part, it's been like, it feels like it's all just a cash grab now.
Yeah.
People are trying to get you to buy the game. They can care less what happens afterwards.
Yeah, they're not putting like heart into the game. They're just getting it out there to get, like you said, a cash grab.
I think it's just about they're running off the name, kind of, which is sad because
it is.
The gaming,
it's going to die.
The gaming society, like the culture, is deep. It's not really just it's not just like a, I mean, we do it like obviously for entertainment, but it's like you like are invested. And I think a lot of companies like EA, like the sports games, used to be my favorite, and now they're just, I won't buy them anymore because they're just cheap reprints that don't work half the time, and it's sad.
Thanks, man. It is sad.
I'd rather just go play the old games,
Yeah.
Like, because I'm pretty competitive when it comes to that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, I used to be a lot more competitive, but now it's just like I feel like it's not even worth it anymore. Sadly,
it is.
So you say that probably GT4, Gran Turismo 4.
Yeah,
probably
that was probably one of my favorites. But the whole Gran Turismo franchise, that's what I was like giddy about, like excited. Like when I'd hear a new one's coming out, I'm like, ooh. I'm ready for that, but here lately it's just been a letdown.
I think mine, which this is ironic, because you said your favorite console is PS2. I said mine was 360, but if I had to put my favorite game of all time, it's got to be Mercenaries, a PS2 game.
That's a PS2 game.
Which I'm not sure if they ever came out with an Xbox version of I do know that the
have to check.
Xbox 360 had Mercenaries 2,
Mm-hmm.
but I think like Mercenaries 1, which was my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
was only on PS2
I think
that I
so.
know of. I mean, I could be wrong, but I remember I played it on. That's what I'm trying to get at. I played it on PS2.
Yeah.
So that was like, that was, to me, it was such a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
And even looking back, like seeing like how bad the graphics were back then and stuff, kind of like makes your heart hurt because you're like, man, I swear this was better.
It's not how I remember it.
It's not how you remember it. Now, if I had to say like my favorite 360 game that I can at least remember playing, I remember playing Minecraft, just sinking hours, just digging dirt in Minecraft. The most mundane of tasks is like just digging and building.
Yeah.
But Minecraft is like behind, which I don't really count Tetris because Tetris counts the free versions in their sales overall number.
Yeah.
But if you're talking just like pure sales, Minecraft is the highest selling game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And besides Tetris and Minecraft, the third place is like way down there.
Oh, wow.
So I had a great time playing Minecraft, or maybe like I was talking about the Call of Duties, like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Used to love some zombies.
And yeah, it was like it was the idea of playing with friends too that made it like so much fun. And I wish they would kind of go back to that, but now I'm just so uninvested. But speaking of, that's going to lead me to my next question, which is today. What do you think you play the most today?
Game.
Game or console, both. Just like what do you find yourself like probably playing the most, just like currently? Like what do you like, or what do you enjoy the most? Maybe.
Honestly, I just dropped about $400 on this emulator, and it is full of like vintage and like up to PS2. It emulates like GameCube, like so many of the newer ones. Well, I say newer ones, but
yeah,
they're not that new. But it has like the whole library. There's like
and for those of you that don't know what he means by emulator, it's basically a system that is pretending that it's like running a virtual version of a console to be able to play some of the older games.
Yeah.
It's not like actually, so instead of having the actual physical console in front of you, it has a simulated version of it or emulated version of it.
Yeah.
Which is the proper term so that you can play those old games.
It's cool. Like there's 60,000+ games.
Gotten through them all yet?
Huh?
You gotten through them all yet?
No. That will never happen. But it's just so neat. It's basically got your whole childhood right there in one little system. It's got like a 4 terabyte hard drive. I mean, pretty nifty little controller, little wireless controller, and it looks great. Like it plays in 8K, but I don't even have an 8K TV. I'm good.
You know they made 8K TVs.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think it's just real life at that point.
Yeah, that's the next step. You really going to feel it.
8K is probably more than we see.
Yeah.
I always wonder when we're going to reach a point where we can't tell the difference anymore between like just like real life and whatever we're seeing, which in video games, like, of course, we thought back in the PS2 days, we're like, man, this looks like real life. And then now looking back on it, you're like, man, this looks like dog water.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Yeah. Like current gen stuff is getting crazy. Like
it is pretty wild.
There is like TikToks you'll watch sometimes and it's actually a game, but it looks
real.
Like, yeah, like I was watching a race on some racing game and I thought this was really happening until it like drove off the track and I'm like, it's a video game. But it looks so real, dude.
And you see a lot of the racing games like look crazy real.
They do.
The reflections.
Yeah.
I mean
it's getting super realistic looking.
I can't remember what it was called, like the software that they use now for video games.
Oh yeah.
I
forget.
It's some type of like shading, but it looks incredibly real.
Oh, yeah.
So your answer was
Yeah, as far as what I play currently, I've been
probably the emulator.
jamming on that thing, dude. I'll be there a while.
So for me, I'm kind of between two. So the first would be I still play PC, games sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a game called Arc Raiders right now that I've been playing with a couple of friends, and it's pretty fun. I mean, it's a little newer, but basically the goal is just to scavenge stuff and
Nice.
bring it back, and like you can obviously lose your stuff to other players.
Oh, that
But
stinks.
it's a lot of fun because you can play with, like you said, you can play with friends, like, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, kind of what you're saying about an emulator, I have like multiple devices,
Mm-hmm.
like handheld devices that I do emulation on.
Yeah, you showed me some
Like,
of them. They're cool.
My Steam Deck,
Mm-hmm.
my PSP, PlayStation Portable, PSP.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a DS, but I got rid of it because I didn't play it that much.
Yeah.
And this thing called a Retroid Pocket. So I love handheld consoles.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can just like bring it with you everywhere is just awesome.
Yeah, super handy.
But the Steam Deck is a really beefy one because it's like a handheld PC,
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured out how to do some emulation on that, and
Cool.
and I've been tinkering with it like it does like emulation stuff. If you don't buy it like out of the box,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, I mean, you're like talking about like firmware, software, trying to get all that stuff to work, and it's like it can be really annoying sometimes because you can try a million different things and it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get it to work, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of, and I've always been good at that stuff, so it's not.
You're good at that.
But if you're not good at it,
mm-hmm.
you'd probably be like, man, I'd rather just spend.
That's why I paid about $400.
I'd rather just be spending the money.
I basically paid for their time to put that together.
Which, in a lot of ways, I mean, like just for that one console, I've already just in the past couple of like weeks, I've put in probably like 10 plus hours already into it.
Yep.
And that's like 10 solid hours. That's not like tinker for a few minutes and then this is like 10 like working.
Legit.
So I mean you pay $200 for something like that. That's only $20 an hour.
Yeah.
For your time. But like I said, it's to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy learning how to do that kind of stuff just because that's always been stuff I like doing.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
Emulation is definitely a up and coming thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's getting more popular.
It is.
I think as modern games are getting less popular,
mm-hmm.
like people just because now, I mean, you got like the Switch 2, which I have so many things I can say about the Switch 2 that are just that bug me terribly because Nintendo is like what they're doing is awful to their fan base.
Some of that,
like if you buy the Switch 2, you don't own the Switch 2, you just own a license to use the Switch 2, and they can remotely brick your console if they think that you're violating their terms of service, which is wild.
Yeah.
And the game cartridges they're not even games anymore. They're cloud keys that whenever you put them into the console, they reach out to the cloud and allow you to download the game from the cloud. And if you try to put it like into another console, it'll say, sorry, this game key's already been used, or this game key belongs to another console.
That's not cool.
It's awful.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's just one extreme example of I think where games are going.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot more people like, I'd just rather just go back and play all the old games.
Yeah, get that vintage fix.
Yeah, that's what it is. Sadly, but I'd still enjoy video games.
Yeah,
I think maybe as I get older, I may get a little less interested. I don't know, but I'm hoping that I stay interested.
Well, it's great in the cold months because I mean, believe me, I'd love to be out riding my bike and stuff, but
too cold.
Like, so it's something to do, man, and You stay out of trouble too.
Can't
Nothing wrong with that.
get me in here.
Get me in my house.
I'm minding my business.
Playing my video games.
Sorry, officer. I was playing Gran Turismo.
GTA.
Have you ever tried using one of those like Oculus headsets?
Yeah, Kirk had one, like the virtual reality things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Oculus.
I can only play it for so long.
Get
dude.
dizzy,
and then I'm like,
or get like car sick.
I do. I get like motion sick.
Motion
It's
sick.
crazy. It's neat though. They really put you there.
If you're someone that suffers from anything like vertigo or any type of inner ear problems, I think you'd have a real tough time with them.
Yeah.
But they are really cool. Like if you're able to enjoy it, because I think it's made by Meta. Meta is the company that makes them, which is Zuckerberg's parent company for Facebook.
I did not know that.
So like that's why because I had one for a little while, and one of the first things it prompts you to do is log into your Meta account, which is you can link your Facebook to.
Mm-hmm.
So Meta is like the company that's over like that owns Facebook and Oculus and Instagram and whatever else.
That's huge.
But yeah, virtual reality is cool. I kind of got disinterested in it just because I was like, I don't know, if you don't have like a real big space to do it in, it's kind of like just bumping into stuff.
Those fail videos kill me, dude.
People just like go like swinging or run to their TVs.
Full force destroyed the TV. Oh man, I love it.
That's probably going to cover it for the video game section, which I could talk about it forever. I feel like I have to stop myself talking about video games.
Yeah.
Let's sort of transition into our big brain time. And for this episode, I wanted to talk about giving. And I kind of wanted it to be just the one word, like simple, because I think there's a lot of things that go into it. And obviously I won't be able to cover everything, or we won't be able to. But one thing that when you think about like giving in the church, a lot of people will look at Christians like, oh, Christianity is just a ploy to control the masses so they can control your paychecks or like take all your money or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think for the crowd of people that maybe were once a part of that and then sometime in life transitioned out of it, I can see why you would say that, because it has to do a lot with the attitude of giving. If you are giving to your local church, the church that you go to, if you're giving with the idea that you are giving to get something in return, that's the wrong attitude.
That's not right.
You have a bad attitude about giving. And that, I think that, because I mean, when scripture says like a lot of people will try to quote the Bible and say that money is the root of all evil. Is that really what the Bible says? Does the Bible say the money is? No. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. So people, and don't get me wrong, money makes the world go round. Yeah, I mean, it does.
You gotta pay them bills.
You gotta pay them bills. I pay my bills. My bills are paid. But when you have that attitude that if your life revolves around money, even if you are a Christian or you go to church, even if that is part of your life, if you are serving money, it says you can only serve one master, God, or some will say mammon or money, God or money. If you go to church but you're serving money, then you're going to get a reality check real fast, because you're going to be super dissatisfied with everything. And a lot of people will they'll act like they have some type of authority because they're like they give more than anybody else or something like that, because that tells you that's awful, because that tells you the only reason why they give that much is so that they can have the power. or they give that much so that they can be like have a seat on the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awful. And if you look at the early church, if you look at how Jesus views giving, or even how it's addressed in the epistles, it's none of that garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Our giving is a reflection of our attitude towards Christ, and that if you understand that God created the heavens and the earth, that because of the grace of God, obviously you have life eternal in Christ. But when you understand that this is all temporary and none of it actually belongs to you, then you begin that process of dissociation from loving money, essentially serving money, or serving the idea of money, however you want to word it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, oh, you have to give everything that you've owned to the church.
You've got a few more dollars.
The check's looking a little thin.
Yeah. Is this all?
That is not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that when your Christianity, if you take it seriously, and you understand that we're here for a short time, and that the church is something that was divinely created by God, that is the bride of Christ, and that when you're giving to the bride, you're uplifting the church, you're edifying the church, and therefore edifying Christ. Then you should have a different attitude when it comes to giving. Now, a lot of people will use the word tithe, which, I mean, you can use, I guess, if you want it, but it's not accurate, because tithing is an Old Testament principle. Tithe means like 10, so giving like 10%. Like they had so many tithes, like they had like 2 10% tithes, and then one that was larger than 10%. So a lot of people will say 10% because that's what they give. 10% of their, that's not, you're not required to give 10% of your income. Now, on the flip side of that, when it comes to the amount that you should be giving, that varies because people obviously have different situations. But if you look in like the letter of 2 Corinthians, if you are someone who is however you would say better off or you have a lot more wealth, then you're probably going to be obligated.
Making it rain.
If you are someone who doth make it rain, then and you're giving the same amount as somebody who makes 1/10 of what you do every year, that's probably an issue. That's probably a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that the way it tends is that people that have more money are less likely to give a lot, sadly, and the people that actually have little to give end up giving a lot more.
Yeah.
That's what you end up seeing, and that's why there's a lot of, when you have like kind of like people that, it just kind of shows you just don't take it really that seriously, and you're just kind of there to punch a ticket, and or maybe put it on your taxes at the end of the year.
Yeah, be sure and write that down on the taxes.
And a lot of people will try to defend things like communism by looking at like in places like in Acts, it says that they sold all of their possessions and like divided equally among one another. Okay, first of all, and people try to say, oh, well, that's what we should do as a country. Like, okay, first of all, some things to consider is that this was not a country that was doing this. This was a small persecuted group of people that were basically caught between two sides that did not care for them one way or the other, and that the services or the gatherings that they held were from house to house. So you have people that were obviously struggling from a financial perspective, having trouble like even getting food for the day or for the week.
Yeah.
And this is what they were giving up their possessions to survive, to live. And that's obviously not the situation, thankfully, that we have today. And this is, like I said, it's not on a countrywide or a statewide or a countrywide scale. This was a group of people, early church, and they did it for a specific purpose. Now, when we talk about, let's talk about like an example of probably the most well-known example in the Gospels of giving. You have the widow, right?
That's what comes to my mind.
That's what comes to a lot of people's mind, and you've probably heard a message or two on this before. And so you have Jesus had, and in front of his followers, in front of his disciples, he had just been basically questioned and confronted all day. The Pharisees, says the Herodians, and possibly also the lawyers and scribes. I don't think the Sadducees were mentioned there specifically on that day, but this is like the end of Jesus' ministry. This is like the last day of Jesus' public ministry. And after he spends all morning and possibly into the afternoon arguing with these people, defending his authority, defending his divinity, defending, basically who he is and his teachings, they tried to attack his knowledge, all this stuff. Yeah. So after that, it says they went and they went to go rest in the outer court, or in the court of the women, I think it was. And it says that they saw many people that were coming in because, and this is extra biblical because we don't have an exact description of what exactly this part of the temple looked like to a T, but there are some oral traditional sources that tell us what sort of this court of the temple will look like.
Oh, that's cool.
And there were these vestibules, like these almost like chests that had like trumpets coming out of them that people would give their offerings in. And I believe it was 13 different vestibules that they would have. And so you have people that would come into the court to bring their offerings to drop it in. And it said that they would just watch people. And they saw this, they said that they saw rich people who were giving a lot, or, because, they were described as being wealthy or rich, they were giving much. And then you had this old woman that came in, this old widow. So, and the reason why it singles her out as a widow, because it's not indicating that they personally knew her or anything. And so she was probably alone, had, because, widows were, it was a really sad situation because they're probably the most vulnerable people in Jewish society at that time. Because they would, even what little they did have, people would try to, like this, it says that like the spiritual leaders would try to basically talk them into like putting mortgages on their houses. It was awful. If they, but anyways, so she probably had like these sun bleached clothes and was just like, probably like the last person that you would look twice at. Yeah. She comes in, the disciples probably didn't even notice her, but Jesus saw what she gave, and it says she gave 2 mites. Now there's a couple different, because I've looked actually a lot into this, and from what I can conclude, most likely what a mite was it was the value for today's money was probably about a fourth or a fifth of a cent, like a penny, like a fraction of that. And a mite meaning like almost like a cut piece, because a lot of times their coins were based on value. Or based on weight for their value. So that these little cut pieces,
like a little piece,
like almost like pieces, like little stamped pieces. It says that she gave 2, and Jesus said, like this widow that just came in here and dropped those 2, she's given more than anybody around here, given more than all these rich who are just bringing all these big bags or dumping into these vestibules. It says that Jesus sees her and he says, she gets it. Like, she understands.
That's awesome.
Because while they were giving out of their excess, she gave all that she had. if that doesn't reflect attitude, and why I said it, and it is a popular example they use, I don't know what it is, because it really comes down to how much trust you have in God for financially.
Mm-hmm.
Like if let's say that you're someone that you do make a lot of money and you're not giving a lot. Okay. So that probably shows that you don't have a lot of stock in your Christianity.
Yeah.
You would rather take care of yourself financially, pretty much 99.9%. You'd rather take care of it.
Yeah.
You'd rather invest your money into other things rather than the church, the bride.
Yeah.
And by the way, all this, and I'm like this whole part of what I'm saying is trying to address those that are in, like, that go to church, that maybe had questions about giving, and we are supposed to give non-begrudgingly. Like, you're not supposed to, like, if you're gonna go up there with a bad attitude and be like, oh, like, I only made so much money this week, I'll give this anyway. Yeah. If you're gonna do that, the Bible says you're better off not to do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather, if you're gonna give with that attitude, we'd rather you not do it at all. And you should be giving with the thought and intention that you trust God, that God's going to take care of you, that God has taken care of you in the past when you have struggled, and if you are struggling, that God's going to take care of you, and that you're investing in the kingdom.
Yeah.
And it almost kind of ties into the principle of seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things will be added to you. These things you worry about, your finances. If you keep your eyes above, and everything below it'll all settle out.
Yeah, it'll work itself out.
It's a lot easier said than done, because it's difficult, and a lot of times, sadly, the truth is that whenever we do have financial issues, or something like, job loss happens, things happen, expenses happen.
Yeah.
Especially now, today, everything's more expensive. So, I mean, even the littlest dents can have, like, crazy big impacts on, like, what you're needing to sustain. And
you fall off a ladder and break both your arms. At least your legs are good.
For now.
Oh,
man, that was funny. A lot of times, whenever bad things like that happen, the first thing that we cut off is our giving.
Yeah.
We have so much that we have, like, if you're someone that does a budget, you have so much that you put towards your food, and that includes, like, eating out, or even, like, your luxuries, like buying video games.
Yeah. They ain't cheap.
And you include your giving into all that. When we do experience those hardships, the first thing that comes off for a lot of people is the giving. I'll just give less, and I'll add that to my, so that way I can keep my lifestyle up.
Put me first. Yeah, giving should be the other way around from what you're saying. Giving should be like your top, like you want to. Like, that's something you should want to do. But it's not always that way.
And if you think about some other things, just talking, even in the epistles, one thing that we actually hear, you actually have Paul quoting Jesus, saying that it's better to give than receive. And that, like I said, that kind of goes back on the attitude. It's not sadly, this is probably the most polarizing example that we can give of the world versus God and what is important. God saying, like we talked about, like, in the anxiety and depression episode, that, Jesus promises rest for our soul. And he says, how many of you by worrying can add to his stature, or add any amount of time to your life? Like, what does this do? Like, God, these animals, like, they're taking care. God takes care of them. How much more are you worth to God than these sparrows? And we don't we don't really think about that because we're just like we want to be in control, and we want to have nice things, and at the end of the day, unless you're buried in the Great Pyramids, because they would bury themselves with all this gold and stuff so they could bring it with them to the afterlife. Like, you can't take it with you.
Imagine the look on their faces. Where's my money?
I had at least 5 gold bars right here. And you're not going to be able to take it with you. So when you look from just from an investment standpoint, I mean, like even like these video games, we thought years ago they were going to be like the greatest things ever, and now most of my consoles, everything which I know you keep a lot of them, like you like you're more on like the collecting side of it, but you move on to something else. There's always something better. Yeah, they come out with a new phone new phones every year, and they come out with new this and just like
nothing stays the same.
It's just stuff to keep you invested in spending your money, keeping which I understand, economy needs to be stimulated to keep things, moving, but
gotta get them upgrades.
We have to be good stewards with our money. We have to, and not just from a giving. I mean, we have to be good stewards with our time, with all of our resources. But considering that we're talking about giving, your giving not should, but is going to reflect your attitude.
True. That's very true.
If you give little, it says a lot about your attitude. If you give a lot, it shows a lot about your attitude. And like we talked about earlier, it's not about giving more than people just so to have the influence or to have
bragging rights.
And a lot of people end up being hurt or confused because they give a lot, but they're still not living the way they should. So they think they can essentially, which is what the Catholic Church is known for over the past several hundred years, is it's all about the giving aspect of it and how much, and that's I think what's given Christianity a bad rap.
Can't buy your way to heaven.
That's what it is. Those indulgences, basically buying tickets into heaven or buying these, like you're buying a bus pass or something. And don't get me wrong, that stuff, what they did, horrible. What they did was horrible. Don't let that influence how you see Christianity today.
No.
Because this, and sadly, in a lot of cases where you have these like smaller churches, this is what they do to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Is they rely on people giving. And a lot of times why churches don't grow is because there's no giving. You can't, which I understand, expenses on everything is up. It's hard to build anything or grow, especially now. But in times like this, should we, whenever we're like, when all these prices of everything goes up, our immediate reaction is, oh, I got to save more, I got to spend less, and it should be, oh well, the church is struggling more, so I should be giving more. And it's like we just don't think about it like that.
Don't look at it that way.
And we just have to have that. We have to have the right mindset.
Yeah.
And there is an expectation also to giving. I'm not trying to remove that completely, because the Bible does say, like, if there is an expectation to receive much when you give much. But you shouldn't give much just so you can expect to receive much.
Yeah.
That's different sides.
Yeah.
Or two whole different things. So you shouldn't be like giving so much to expect that you'll receive a whole lot more back. Like it's some rigged casino game or something, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just about having a good attitude.
Yeah.
It's not about controlling the masses. Because if it were, then Christians would be the absolute worst at it. Because nobody wants to give anything anyways. Okay, I take that back. American Christians are the worst, because Americans don't want to, unless it benefits them, they don't want to invest in it at all.
Yeah.
So we would be the absolute worst. if that were the case.
That would, yeah. Oh.
Controlling the masses and can't even get a few to give. And I think that a lot of us have probably been guilty at one time or another of this. I'm not saying everybody, but it's probably has probably crossed your mind once or twice.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. They're gonna know.
They're gonna know.
But I think it's probably a good place to end it. We covered quite a few things. Covered some good examples that we have in Scripture for this episode, and covering the attitude of giving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're investing. You're investing into a spiritual. It's far beyond just what we see.
Mm-hmm.
You're investing in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at that, I think that we would change our minds a lot more when we think about what it means to be a follower of Christ.
Yeah,
our attitude and giving would change a lot.
Yep.
Was there anything else you wanted to say before we transition out of our big brain time?
Nah, I enjoyed this topic though. Giving, that was something even before I was a Christian I actually enjoyed doing was just giving. I got more excitement out of giving than receiving. I truly did. Even before I was a Christian, it was just something that made me happy. So yeah, and coming into that, I sort of had the right mindset, not completely, but I understood, why we should, because there's a reward that comes later. I mean, unless you try to reap your reward now, then there's nothing. But what is that? Like, don't let the left hand know what the.
Don't let your right hand know what your left hand.
I knew I'd get it backwards.
Honestly, I might have gotten it backwards.
Don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. Like I'll, just.
They're like when he talks about like people that are praying, they pray in public so that they'll have their recognition.
Yeah.
Or the people that are fasting, that says that they would disfigure their faces or contour their faces to where it'd be like, oh, I've been fasting so much.
Yeah.
And they're completely missing the whole point of this.
Yeah.
It says when you pray in secret, and your Father will reward you openly.
So that had nothing to do with giving anyway.
Well, okay, I mean, it kind of does. It kind of does because they, like I said, it has to do with influence. People want the influence, like they, like they know that I give.
Yeah,
so
there's
that does have to do with it. Like I said, that example is an example of attitude.
Yeah.
If you're praying with the attitude of having people see you for it, like, oh, he's such a great prayer.
Yeah. Watch me now. Yeah.
Jesus says they have their reward.
Yeah.
Like this praise that they're getting from other people seeing them pray or fast, they have their reward. Mm-hmm. But do not do this.
Yeah.
Do it in secret so that your Father will reward you.
Much better.
I think you could talk. I don't see a problem with tying that into it.
I kind of feel that way about giving. There's no sense in, hey man, I gave her $20.
Yeah, is like, doing good things so that you will be seen as it's not about exalting God. It's about exalting yourself, and that's obviously the wrong attitude. So that kind of has to do with it.
I got you.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Oh, that's right. I'm going to recommend a resource.
Yes.
I did, and if you're watching this, you probably already see it. This is actually a commentary that's done by somebody I know. This is camera's over here. Romans, a verse by verse study and commentary by our good friend Jason Cole.
Yeah, buddy.
Whose birthday I believe was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, buddy.
I got to talk to him a little bit, but and his is good on Romans.
Mhm.
There are some other ones like FF Bruce has some writings on Romans that are really good.
Cool.
So, and a lot of these, I like to have the physical copy when I show it, because a lot of these I don't have the physical copy. I just have PDFs, and it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
show a PDF. But his is really good. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle.
Nice.
You can get physical copies. You get on Amazon, Kindle. I'm not sure what other places he might have it on, but look it up. It's really good. And he has quite a few others that I might bring up in the future. But
Yeah, buddy.
yeah, he's done a lot of writings.
Yeah, he's good. I like Jason.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right. As far as that, I know I mentioned us doing a giveaway. Stuff isn't here yet, unfortunately, but it's coming up. We hit 100 followers on Facebook.
Sweet.
So
that's awesome.
I was excited about that, and just the support
awesome.
we've been getting so far. Really appreciate hearing people like reach out and saying they've been listening to us, or they enjoy it. I'm like, man, who would have thought a couple of buffoons?
Well, me especially. I'm proud of you, buddy. That's awesome.
I'm as big as a buffoon as anybody I know.
Nah.
But it's encouraging for sure, not to know that some people are actually getting something out of it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And it's all about just encouraging people. Like I said, I try to revolve around the idea that we should be able to give that defense for that hope that lies within us, and to answer simple questions that people have about Christianity, just trying to combat all the bad info that's out there, and try to give a real voice to some issues and some topics. But I think we covered the topic today pretty well. Appreciate you all listening, and there's just one thing I could say. It's just be that Christian. Be that Christian. Sorry, I had to put more emphasis. Be that Christian.
That Christian.
You're not that guy, pal. But you are that guy, pal. Be that guy, pal.
Be that guy.
Appreciate you all listening, and hope you have a great rest of your day. See you guys.